meeting series. We'll begin with a pule by Sherlyn Ohinikapu.
Aloha, good morning. Aloha. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come here today and we thank you for a beautiful day here in Kona. Mahalo ke akua. We ask that we're here to help each other. We're here to help our commissioners. We're blessed to have a commission that is helping us. Lord, please bless those of us who have traveled afar. Guide and protect us on the road, whether we're going over the saddle. Return us back to our families, Lord. And I ask that that you bless us today with truth, understanding, but most of all with aloha. And I pray this in the name of your Son, Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Okay, the meeting of the Hawaiian Homes Commission is called to order. The meeting is being held virtually on Zoom and in person at the King Kamehameha Kona Beach Resort, 75-5660 Palani Road, Kailua Kona, Hawaii. Carly Watson, Chairman of the Commission. Today's date is Tuesday, May 19, 2026, and the time is 9:40 a.m. Will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Freitas?
Here.
Commissioner Kalekini?
Aye.
Commissioner Kalepa is excused. Commissioner Kaneakua?
Aye.
Commissioner Lasua?
Aye.
Commissioner Marfil?
Ew.
Commissioner Namua joining us virtually, raising her hand. Commissioner Ornelas?
Ew.
Chair Watson?
Here.
8 members present. We have a quorum.
Hey, we will begin this morning with public testimony, followed by items E8, C2, and the J agenda. The commission will recess for lunch and contested case hearings at 12 noon. If there's any remaining J agenda items, the commission will reconvene at 1:30 p.m. to finish. Okay, so we'll start with the public testimony. Kekoa Inomoto.
Hikoa.
Aloha mai kako.
Aloha.
Aloha. I do have a brief testimony and a brief PowerPoint. So Michael, if you could present that. Thank you very much. So I am Keikoa Inamoto, advocating on behalf of Pa'upena Community Development Corporation here on Upcountry Maui, and on agendized item G1 regarding the 2014 DHHL Water Policy Program. Next slide, please. So this is a copy of the policy program that was published in 2014. Next slide, please. Amidst the department's 2026 water priorities, I would add Keokea Farm Lot's decades-old need and request for extension of the Upcountry Maui non-potable agricultural water line. And these are 2 of our Keokea farmers, Ioane Kianaaina and his wife Vicky, and they are delivering produce to my driveway that is grown on their farm at Keokea. And these Keokea farmers have been waiting decades, as I said, for their agricultural non-potable water line extension. Next slide, please. The extension would be 4.2 miles from Na'alai Road to Maui's only active farming homesteads. LDD Interim Administrator Kalani Fronda indicated he has identified funding for this project that would run along Kula Highway to the 66 Keokea farm lots. He and I have spoken about having a spike off this water line to irrigate. The next slide, please. the 127-acre Keokea Waiahuli Homelands parcel, to which Pa'upena has a 10-year license for farming and ranching related training. And this is a picture of the kalo that we were growing in 2022 when we had access to water. And of course, I am advocating for this ag waterline extension of 4 miles to the Keokea lots. And I would like to digress slightly and tell a mo'olelo about my fellow upcountry homesteader, Tasha Kama. She passed away earlier this year. She was our county councilwoman, and she and I advocated for water, and specifically, Auntie Tasha went to Senator Inouye and asked him for federal funding for this ag water line to go to the Keokea lots. And Senator Inouye said, if the state of Hawaii and the county of Maui will match the federal funding, I will appropriate this funding, which the state and the county agreed. And so Senator Inouye put forward this money. And what happened was the ag water line only went up to Na'alai Road. It never reached the Keokea farm lots. And so this is long overdue. Administrator Fronda has indicated he has identified funding. And so that's what I am advocating, that the DHHL water policy plan have as one of its 2026 priorities this extension to the Keokea farm lots. Such an arrangement would permit gravity-fed irrigation to the 127-acre lot parcel to which Pa'upena has a 10-year license for farming and ranching, versus the what the County of Maui Department of Water Supply is proposing is that we have the water meter to this 127-acre lot at the bottom of the lot, and we would have to pump the water up. And this would be vastly more expensive than having the spike off of the Kula Highway, a water extension. So mahalo nui for the planning office's water proactivity for our beneficiaries. And I hope for increased attention to and support of a non-potable ag water line extension to upcountry Maui's Keokea farm lots. Next slide, please. Yes, so this is just reemphasizing that the gravity-fed water to our 127-acre lot and to the Keokea ag lots would be most helpful. Mahalo nui.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next testifier, Luana Keakealani, excuse me.
Aloha, Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Luana Keakealani, and I am coming before you today as sort of a last-minute thought to share some information with you based on everything that I absorbed from yesterday's meeting. I make no representation of any organization. This is just information. And it has to do with G1, 2, and 3, I think, from yesterday. For the most part, but also a little bit overlapping into that really nice workshop that was held by, I think his name is Riley Kawananakoa. And so I'm trying to share information that I've had for a really long time, and I'm just the messenger. I pick up this information just sort of in my life every day in, day out, living the ranching lifestyle that we live. And so I want to tell you about Waimea's water. I know that you learn things along the way and that you already know a lot. And I don't want to present this in a way that makes the assumption that I think you don't know, because you might know some of this already. But for whatever it's worth, I still wanted to share. So some of the lessees in Waimea have 2 sources of water. Some of the older farm lots have water that's not necessarily useful to them. The water is not being utilized. For example, you don't see mass irrigation in some of the older farm lots by Kuhio Village. Now, I must say, if you have questions for me, I might not be able to answer them because I'm just the messenger, but I can find out more information for clarification and share back. Waimea has a lot of water, but some of the water is being wasted. There are places in Waimea that have excess water. There are places that have a shortage of water, and then there's places that don't have any water at all. There is this whole notion of Department of Ag water. To my understanding, and I make no representation, I'm just sharing information that I've come to understand. Department of Ag water, they are looking for customers because they don't have as many customers as they used to. When farming was a big thing, yeah, still is a big thing. But we have less farmers using DAG water. I'm getting to a point, but for now it's gonna feel like mishmash, so bear with me. The reservoir at Lakeland, the Pu'upulehu Reservoir, and this is where I feel like I'm overlapping into what was shared during the workshop yesterday. It's state land, but look at the land around, look at the layout. If someone can connect me with whoever it is that I should speak to about this, we could do a deeper dive at another time, but there are ways to look at the AINA and see how some of that state land could either have been DHHL land in the past or would make sense to pull it back as part of, was it Act 14? I think Act 14. I've been dealing with Act 90, so I think it was 14. The water is caught, oh shoot, I had a time limit. The water is caught and stored on DHHL land. Does that mean I have 2 more minutes? Or am I pau?
Yeah,
Kalamai. I wasn't even thinking about my time limit. The water is caught and stored on DHHL land. That is what I keep hearing over and over from my informant. The water is caught and stored on DHHL land. Okay? So, foundational knowledge that's the source, right? Yesterday, Cherie, I believe, was talking about sourcing water. We got to source the water from Department of Ag. I have already had a conversation with the senator about this. Since then, there's been a meeting held in my community in Waimea about how Parker Ranch is going to try to move that DAG water from Lalamilo side over to Nie. This is where I want to help create dialogue about this, because if that is the case, and if you do know that that is happening, we would like to know what is the department's position on that. As the department, we understand to be a major stakeholder in that project, right? Great, if they're going to pull the water over, that's wonderful, but it has to traverse through DHHL AINA. So should it be DHHL? Should DHHL have a hand in that? That's a whole thing in of itself, we think. Both of the reservoirs must be on DHHL land. When I say must be, I'm using that very loosely. That's just the way it's conveyed to me. The Pu'ukapu Reservoir on White Road and Pu'upulehu 110 million gallons reservoir. We know that the water going up to Nie is on an old and failing system from the DWS. We have watched it leak for years. So there is a solution to like an analysis of water in Waimea that can work. And I think in all what I'm trying to say is that there's all this conflict about water, but if we approach it from an intelligent standpoint, we can solve the problem because the water is there. When Cherie said we need to source the water, I'm like, yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Like, we got to source the water. I hear that at home, but then I don't have the machine to do that. I don't have the mechanism to source the water, but I have the IKE. I have access to the IKE to help DHHL source the water. And some things are not shared. Yeah, but sometimes it's time for that to be passed on. And that's just, I think, a unique, nuanced concept from Waimea, that some things are shared out and some things are just talked about. And some people will even say things like, oh, that's just this, but that's not true. And I have an example of those things, but to not offend anyone, I don't want to mention it in open forum. But there are some things that are shared that are not based in fact, that sort of, it changes the discourse of trying to solve the issue. Yeah. So I just wanted to share these pieces, and I'm happy to collaborate further. But I think that if that approach can be the approach going forward, and if it should be DHHL with this project of moving the water, or a collaborative effort with Parker Ranch, maybe, yeah. And again, I apologize if you already know this.
Yeah,
Kalani.
let me share some info with you. And I do appreciate you coming forward to identify a situation that we're actually participating with Parker Ranch. One of the things about Parker Ranch is they're using potable water to, supply water to their cattle. And so that potable water obviously is very expensive. And so they want to migrate off of that and make it available to the department for our housing projects, which we would need in order to get water credits. And so that is quite a bit of water, actually, versus taking water from the DOA, which you're right, there is excess water that could be allocated with some encouragement on our part. So we've had preliminary discussions with both, as well as Senator Richards, regarding adding some infrastructure involving the water for transmission as well as storage. And you're right, the reservoirs are kind of in our control regarding it's on our lands. And so the whole idea there is to work with the different groups and make that transition, because we need more water credits from the Department of Water Supply. We're accelerating as pretty evident in what we've been doing lately, especially with the 600 million. So with all this development we're doing on the Big Island, water is a real big issue. Development, you don't have water, you don't develop. Besides the financing challenge, but in this case, we're actually in the process of making a migration off the potable water by Parker and conveying that water credits to us, but we're also improving the system so as to do more development in Lalamilo and making awards, and as well as in other areas, Falamanui, Laiopua, and some other areas. So it's as well as developing water wells on the Big Island from KS as well as the GNLS acquisition. So you're very correct on what we're doing. But what's also nice about the process in that Waimea and that area is we're starting to expand the water supply to unused areas for DHHLs. The idea being if we can get water to these other areas that have not been used forever, basically, except way back when Parker Ranch had it, they actually shut it down and kind of retrenched, but they're now expanding because the cattle industry is a very profitable industry that and I want the homesteaders to be a part of that. So we actually entered into a MOA with Parker Ranch along with Kamehameha Schools. So we have not only looked at expanding the water systems to benefit, activating some of our lands, including Parker Ranch lands, so that we can not only improve access for the cattle industry that we want to expand. We want to give out homesteads, pastoral homesteads to our beneficiaries. And the only way we can do it and have them viable is to put them in a position where they have water for their land. They also have the expertise being made available, which Parker Ranch has, and they're working with us. Maybe 70% of their work force are Hawaiians that also need housing. So we're also looking at that. And then we're also looking at the timber industry, the eucalyptus trees and some other, we're trying to reactivate and preserve the watershed with the core forest and stuff. So a lot of good things happening on the Big Island, but we definitely want to share that with you so that you know, and whatever EK you have regarding the water system, we'd be more than happy, because it is, very critical that we have as much information, especially when it comes to the beneficiaries and
Thank
what they know about that area.
Thank
So
you.
we welcome your input so that we can use that to achieve our objectives that we're trying to do for that area.
So all of this is in the context too of new developments.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it just, we remain guarded because we don't know if that water is going that way for,
No,
the,
it's for us.
and
Parker Ranch.
right?
We're partners with Parker because, they're good at, and they have a good leader over there now with Micah Kane.
Mhm.
So he's somebody we can work with. I was a little hesitant with the prior administration, but with Micah, we welcome it. He's doing some interns with our future homesteaders, letting them learn about the cattle industry, not just the ranching, but the business side, the marketing, processing of Department of Health certificates, all kind of good stuff. So it's providing jobs, but more important, it's providing an opportunity for our homesteaders in the program.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next testifier, Shayna De La Cruz Hooley.
Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. I'm just pulling up my 1 minute. Sorry. Bear with me, okay? Aloha, Chair and Honorable
Aloha.
Commissioners. Mahalo for your service and to our community and for your tremendous responsibility to carry in Kali Watson, I just wanted to actually thank you in advance for Shelby Billionaire's grant proposal at the graveyard. We'll be having a cleanup on May 23rd from 7 to 11. And I appreciate everybody for being out here today. Aloha.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay. Agenda item E8. Kalani. And Riley Kawananakwa. Yeah, you can join.
Aloha, Chair Watson and Commissioners. Today you have before you item number E8. And along with me, for the record, Kalani Franda, Acting Administrator with Land Development Division. Along with me from our staff is Riley Kawananakoa on Teams. And before you is E8. It is recommended that the Hawaiian Homes Commission approve and authorize the chair to execute on behalf of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands the acceptance of transfer TMKs 321-012-149, 321-012-041, 324-001-171, 324-003-012, 324-003-026, 324-003-027, 324-003-050, and 324-076-036 of state-owned parcels identified in Exhibit A, located in Hilo, Hawaii Island, and totaling approximately 334.07 acres from the State of Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands under the Act 14 SP SLH 1995 settlements, and to negotiate and execute any and all related documents, instruments, and agreements necessary to effectuate the transfers subject to review and approval by the Department of the Attorney General.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or comments?
Just a remark, Chair. Colleen, you and Riley put on an amazing workshop yesterday and answered so many questions that we had and presented material so that we didn't have to ask as many questions as we might have. But that's why I move and I support the transfer. So thanks very much for all the homework that you folks did to keep us educated on the matter.
Any other
Sure.
comments?
Real quick,
Commissioner Freitas?
we kind of talked off the record yesterday about some things, and thank you for being aggressive in this manner and doing your due diligence and finding properties that make sense that help our beneficiaries as well as the department. And just please continue to be aggressive. These lands are owed to our people. So as much as I want to thank them, I got to thank you for pushing the issue sometimes, and like I said, continuing to be aggressive. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Commissioner Ornelas?
I apologize for not asking yesterday, but have you received any kind of public comment or there are existing neighbors there? Have you received any feedback from anyone in the area?
I'll answer, but I'll also look to Riley. He has, and I want to acknowledge the work that Riley has done. It's not only gathering the information, it's taking a look at what that site looks like as well, and having some of those conversations. We haven't had conversations in general with from the department standpoint with the neighbors that are in that area, but I also want to turn it over to Riley to see if he has had any in his site visits. It's more of identifying the conversations that we've had was specifically with, and I want to also thank the chair for also having that aggressiveness on looking at what will move the needle for the department. And a lot of this conversation was with the agency of Department of Land and Natural Resources and really massaging what that looks like, the lands itself, the details of it, and then what that transfer of lands will look like. Riley, anything to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I wanted to add that part of this process is, I guess, running these properties by the commission first. Part of this exercise is I haven't really done too much work into what the actual homesteads would look like. That's not really within my analysis. More so what I was focusing on was the properties themselves, the area, the proximity to amenities. And so it's kind of challenging to go and meet with community members when it's more so just about Hawaiian homesteads acquiring the land, and we don't have too much of an idea of what those homesteads will look like. And so, when you meet with someone and they say, "Oh, what are you going to build?" and you say, "Well, we're not quite sure yet." That's part of the due diligence process. And really determining, what is the infrastructure set in place for, what is it suitable for, what is the land kind of telling us makes sense in this area. I think also that's part of our due diligence process is reaching out to the community and meeting with them. But, we wanted to get agreement, number one, from the commission, but also from TLNR, which we have gotten before having those conversations.
Mahalo.
And if I just may add in, part of the post transfer is having those collaboration with our other divisions, such as the planning office, land management staff, and so on how do we start to look and start to position this for future uses. You're welcome.
Any other comments? Yeah, Riley, I think you're a great grand uncle would be, Prince Kuhia would be proud of you guys. So anyway, keep up the good work and let's look for more lands to move over into our inventory so we can get this program really cranking over the next 100 years. So anyway, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners.
Okay, item C2 for information only, status report of enforcement unit. David Hoke.
Good morning, Chair Watson and members of the commission.
Morning.
Morning.
This is our monthly update for April 13th through May 10th of 2026. During this window, we received 21 requests for investigations This brings a total for the calendar year to 57, and the total number of reports submitted within this last window was 26, bringing the total number of reports submitted for the calendar year to 121. During this time frame, we also had 2 official correspondences with beneficiaries regarding active investigations. Several key events that took place during this last time frame. April 14th, April 15th and 17th, we did a cleanup in the Panaeva area. And on April 21st, last month, our staff was not present at the Molokai commission meeting because we actually had to go secure a property in Waimea. And so for that situation, I have to acknowledge Chair Watson. Since he took over, he allowed us to be aggressive in these situations where historically we kind of sat idle and where the leases were active, but nobody was really doing anything. But this house was, allegations of drug use, verifiable. We had videos sent to us of violence occurring right outside the home, and when we actually went in and cleared the house, there's clearly drug use in the home. So, we went and we took care of that. I also want to, thank the Sheriff's Department. It took a lot of manpower. They gave us 12 deputies that day. They had to bring in 6 from East Hawaii and West Hawaii, and that's a lot of manpower for an outer island to designate to one thing. But definitely happy that we're able to do this, and thankful that Chair Watson allows us to take this proactive approach to really try and keep our homestead safe, because if not, it just seems like it's a matter of time before something else happens. In addition, we also did have a contested case hearing, which we were working on May the 5th. As far as our beneficiary engagement goes, we attended the Keaukaha Panaeva Farmers Association quarterly NSW meeting. And then we again continue our interagency collaboration with the county police, state Department of Law Enforcement, and then also Hope Outreach Services in Hilo area, who's been very helpful in getting us prepared to do all these cleanup work so that we can make sure that we offer services to those that will be removed soon after. That's our report for this month, and open to any questions if there are any.
Any comments, commissioners? If not, David, thank you on that. Waimea's handling that situation. I think what you did, is dangerous. So you need to kind of collaborate with the guys with the weapons and all of that. But I think for this administration, as well as this commission, there's zero tolerance for that kind of activity, drugs as well as criminal activity. So the community out there, the different homestead communities, if you have that problem in your community, let us know. We'll react in an appropriate manner. We'll be very aggressive to get them rid this or your community of this cancer. I mean, we shouldn't have that. People should feel safe in their community and not be subject to this kind of activity. So anyway, again, thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Watson.
Okay, let's see. To ensure that we can accommodate all testimonies within our allotted time, we kindly ask each of you to be as concise and efficient as possible. Please limit your remarks to 10 minutes to allow everyone the opportunity to be heard. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated and will help us ensure a productive and timely session. Mahalo. Okay, the next person up for J1, Jeanette Kaulukukui. And this is for information only.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Jeanette Kaulukukui. I am a lessee at Kailapa. Kailapa is a community south of Waimea. I am here to speak to you in regards to a recently received grant. First, I probably need to take you back in 2011. The previous board had went ahead and designed a resource center. The resource center was to be built on an adjoining 14 acres on the side of Kailapa. And the board, they actually got awarded to do some groundwork on that for a resource center. The plan was fabulous. It was beautiful. But the problem with that was that there was no access to that. There was access that could be built, but it had to go over the ravine. They did not have electric on that property. They did not have a water source. And so and access. That was the three most important things. So the community then had to look for another way to be able to do certified kitchen and other things within our community because we couldn't have access to that property. So I wrote a grant. I wrote it in 2022. My first submission was with OHA to put and install a certified kitchen in the existing pavilion. Now, this was approved by the community because they really wanted a kitchen and be able to do health and do food and bring the families together. So I wrote a grant. OHA denied it, but I wrote another grant. I submitted it with the department and it got approved, and it was approved in December 2024. And it was for $331,000. And you know, what you see in the leaflet that I gave you was people that signed that they really want to. It's lessees, neighboring people that really want this kitchen to go in. So in the attached paperwork that you're going to see is a copy of the lease that was done for the 14 acres. There are copies of what the drawing would look like and what it's going to be attached onto this existing pavilion. So the problem is we just didn't get a grant yet. We're waiting.
Good morning. My name is Shauna Kaulukukui. I sit on the board of directors as a president for Kailapa Community Association. The grant contract 73302 was awarded in 2025 we got a notice to proceed in November of 2025, which is about 9 months, right? We were working with DHL so that we could move the grant forward and so we could pursue and, knock out and execute this project. All grants have a timeline, right? So we wanted to make sure that because it was an addition and it was an improvement to our pavilion, that we would have enough time to get all these things done. We were told to get a blueprint approval from land management, so which we did, and we got that in February of 2026. We have still not received our funds as of today. We are a part of Vibrant Hawaii Hub since 2019. Every summer, we put on a Kaukau for Kiki that distributes food to our community. Whenever there's some kind of storm or hardship with the government, Vibrant will supply food that we will be able to distribute out into the community. And this happened, we've been doing this since 2019. In 2017, the board had developed a aquaponics farm right below the pavilion, which was very fruitful and vibrant at one time, which supplied fresh vegetables, fresh fruits that would be, freely given to the community. With that greenhouse, we presented something, Vibrant Hawaii had presented something with us that they would be able to buy. So Kaukau for Keiki, we usually get canned goods. We have some fresh vegetables that Hilo Produce provides. HFM, I think it is, that provides the dry goods for the community. kind of what we were planning and hoping to do, and the reason why the certified kitchen had came up is so that we could offer more programs and we could offer something that we could buy locally, such as fresh fruits and vegetables that's from local smaller farmers that we could provide to the community every summer. With the program and with the planning with Vibrant Hawaii, it was to recreate and redevelop our aquaponic farm, supply the vegetables. They would buy it from Kailapa, from the association, which in return would go right back into the community. So it's almost like a full circle, kind of a hybrid plan that we would be able to make a little bit of money for operating costs for the pavilion. Our pavilion, we make maybe about $11,000 a year. That's barely enough to cover operating costs. Our insurance alone is almost $8,000 a year. So with the certified kitchen and the improvement to the pavilion, it was not only to bring in more programs that we could supply and we could help the community with these food things, but it's also to bring in a little bit extra revenue for operating costs. And it wasn't that we're not going to move forward at some point for the resource center. It's just, this is what we have currently. This is what we have today. And this is the improvement that we need so that we can continue to serve our community and our neighboring communities.
That's it.
Sounds like you guys got some challenges that I guess should have been anticipated regarding the electricity, and I guess you're talking about putting a bridge across the ravine.
That would be for the resource center on the
that's what
adjoining
talked about.
area that's next to the pavilion. We already have a pavilion that is existing, that has electricity, that has a parking lot, that we have running water that we use.
We do have.
Yeah, it's a current, it's an existing pavilion. We have all those things.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah. We just don't have a certified kitchen. So, and it is up for where you can go, and the lessees can go rent it. Even the people in the neighboring communities can come in and rent a pavilion. Not having a certified kitchen does kind of limit what they can do there at the pavilion, which was one of the reasons why we wanted to do the improvement for our existing pavilion. And, and then kind of what really takes the cake is trying to provide more programs for our keikis in our community. And, we have been a hub with Vibrant Hawaii. In your packet, you will see a support letter from Janice Ikeda from Vibrant Hawaii, and, just trying to help us make sure that we can get this going. I know it's just an informational agenda item, but we have not received any funds yet. And this was awarded in 2025. The longer that we do wait, the costs of things does go up. We were, our engineering plans that we got a draft, and I think that's also included in your packet there, which we have not paid for yet because we have not gotten any funds.
Have you been talking to Gigi?
Yeah.
Okay, talk with her. She's the one that's kind of managing the funds and distribution. And then some of these challenges you have, I guess you got to come up with a plan. However we can help you, let us know. On the insurance, do you guys have insurance now for the other activities?
Yep. We have insurance.
So it's more the certified kitchen status that would require more.
That would also increase, right? Which means we would have to, probably increase the insurance, well, the increase in the insurance, but then also an increase in the
revenue
rate, right? As a rental rate, so that we can cover these operating costs. Those things are all, at time we will discuss throughout the board and with the community.
Okay. Well, whatever we can do to help, I think you should tap into OHA. They got plenty of money. So, and then do you have an architect that's kind of helping you with the compliance and design and all that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, just hang in there. And like I said, in any way we can help, let us know.
Okay.
Any questions, Commissioner Ornelas?
I'm looking at the letter dated November 18th of 2025. On page 2, there's a set of reminders there. So you are compliant
Yes,
with Hawaii Compliance Express?
yes.
Okay, and then point number 2, there's reporting periods in there that you need to report to the department. So the first report would have been due on April 30th. Was that completed?
But we didn't receive any funds yet.
Right, but I'm just asking if,
We didn't do anything because we haven't received any.
So no, that report was not submitted.
was not submitted. Okay, I'm just wondering if that could be maybe another vehicle for your organization. I'm dealing with a similar situation on Kauai. And so what they were advised to do was to meet that reporting deadline so that you have formal communication with Gigi and her her area of expertise to be a formal reminder of we haven't gotten any money yet. There's nothing to report on because we haven't received our funds. And so it sounds like you've got everything teed up and ready to go, just no funds to do it with.
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so the only thing that I could see that would be pending would be that report. And it could be a simple, and they even put the email in there. And it could just be a reminder of we're meeting this reporting. Well, now we're late, but here's the report that was requested in the letter dated November 18th. However, we're unable to proceed because we are not in receipt of those grant funds.
Understand.
Mahalo.
So I just have one quick question, because that same letter says that you can submit an invoice. So have you not submitted an invoice for the work that you've already done?
We did.
And the invoice is not being
It was
honored?
returned. Yeah, it was returned until further notice.
Was there a reason?
The invoice was for the drawings, I believe.
Yeah,
Or
right.
First draw.
for the certified kitchen, the first set of drawings. And then the discussion came that it needed to be cleared by land management by DHL, which we did get in February of 2026. And they were okay. And the discussions that we did have, they said that they understand that the cost of the engineering drawings will
Went
go
up by
up. And
$10,000.
yeah.
Yes.
So they actually said that, did they say that they approved, they were okay with the change of the budget, and
Yeah.
we would just have to file for something?
File for additional funds if needed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next person, J2, Sherlyn Wahine Kapu.
Good morning. Aloha, everyone. I'm going to have my daughter, Luana, read my testimony, please.
Aloha. My name is Sherilyn Wahine Kapu, and I am here to share a timeline about a procedural issue that is affecting my ability to build a home for myself. I want to first thank the Commission for this opportunity to share. On December 9th, 2024, a public notice was published by the department which listed my brother as a deceased lessee that had not named a successor. For the record, this was fully initiated by the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and not by myself or my family. On December 10th, the following day, I submitted applications for leasehold interest. On January 28th, 2025, last year, flipping into the new year, I submitted a petition for contested case because the public notice was prompted by the department without a death certificate. Here I am, a year and a half later, and I have not received a response to my applications for leasehold interest. I am 75 years old and I am ready to build my first home. However, I am not able to secure funding because the lender doesn't understand why there's a deceased co-lessee still on the leases. I am asking the commissioners to consider that my applications were submitted in a timely manner. Both applications included the required information and all supporting documentation. Also, perhaps most importantly, to consider that all of this is in the context of it being the department that initiated this whole process to begin with. In other words, if it weren't for the department, it is quite likely I wouldn't even be here today having to provide this testimony. I acknowledge that the department has repeatedly ignored my requests for documentation through the Freedom of Information Act. Today, I would like to share with you why I've been so persistent about requesting those documents from the department. At the time when the department initiated the death notification, there was a problem with my brother's death certificate. So rather than me waiting for you to approve a contested case hearing, and in the spirit of cooperation and aloha with the department, I am trying to shine the light on a procedural issue and how messy this has become because of a lack of procedure and also a lack of ethics. Without going into further detail, I want to let you know that I have a concern with the death certificate that the department used to initiate my brother's death notification on my behalf. And this is why the department should never take it upon themselves to submit a death certificate on behalf of a family.
Luana, maybe I can starting this process here. The commission did act on your requests yesterday. We actually took action on yours as well as Erika Costales. And there's a letter that's going to be coming to you folks shortly, kind of addressing your requests. So maybe take a look at that, and then if you have a problem with it or whatever, you can respond accordingly. Because I think it'll lay out some choices you have in the response. But the commission has kind of taken and received a lot of the information that you're about to give and made a decision. So we have taken action.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. I have about 5 minutes left. Can I finish?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, mahalo.
Got it.
Furthermore, upon checking with the Kapolei office, the representative was frustrated that this happened because she said that the procedure is that she should be notified so that she can flag the system. I am simply asking for you to consider that I am 75 years old and I'm ready to build my first home. I need a response to my applications, mahalo, I understand that's happened yesterday, for leasehold interest so that I can move forward. The entire process has been hurtful because it centers around my brother's death. Is it the best use of the department's time and money to proceed with the contested case about the procedural mishap? After much thought and consideration and seeing how this commission approaches issues in a fair and objective manner, I think it's most important for me to move forward and to let go of what was done wrong to me procedurally so that I can have a response to my applications and so that this doesn't happen to anyone else. This December, it will be 2 years since the department published the death notification on behalf of my family. And with my 4 minutes left, Mom's 4 minutes, she wanted me to just say that even if there's been another application submitted, and because maybe there will be no contested case if a decision was made in favor of Mom, she still is going to want to see what was submitted on behalf of the other party so that she can understand the timeline of when it was received and whether or not that was in alignment with the department's policy. Because at this point, she said she cannot trust that anything happens according to the procedure. So even if, like I said, we are grateful there was a decision made, however, it'll be important for mom to still be able to understand what happened and in what, chronology, because that's important for procedure. What was submitted when and by who? And then also, was this even legit if it didn't initiate on the part of the Ohana? Yeah, but that's all. Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next person, J3, Jojo Tanimoto.
Good morning. This is Jojo.
Morning.
I was just trying to chat you this morning, but it won't let me in. I am comfortable to pass my turn today, knowing that staff will be assigned to talk with the Kauai High community about what's going on around us. So that and the unexploded ordinance people are coming to Kauai High to talk with the county planning department advisory councils in regards to the problems with erosion and whatnot. I just got the call this morning. So that is on its way. So I am comfortable to cancel my turn today. And thank you very much, commissioners, for your help. Aloha.
Oh, okay, Jojo, thank you. Let's see, item J4, Kalani Akea Wilson, for information.
I wish the East Hawaii commissioner was here. Mike.
You want to wait?
Yeah.
I think you had a call, so you can wait. I'll call you back up if you want. Up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be better.
Okay. Let's see, J5, Britt Kawanoi.
Don't see. Maybe we go to Bo.
Or Bo. Kahui.
So him. Your turn.
Bo. Bo.
Wilson.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Bo Kahui,
Morning.
and I am the Interim President, Executive Director, Treasurer for Laiupu Community Development Corporation. I think there was an error on the agenda. It says L 2020. No worry, it's all good. But as founder and officer of Laipo Community Development Corporation, I've brought to you some topic items to discuss real quickly. And if time permit, I want to be able to share with you our new request for a right of entry down at the harbor. The park and preschool ROE, according to Palapala I just sent you, will be requesting the status of the CDC's Village Park. So the Village Park, by the Village Association, it submitted a ROE. I think we submitted the ROE for 2 years now and have not received a response. We'd like to get a response regarding that. This is the Village 4 Park, a 5-acre parcel right in the middle of the subdivision. And it's been planned that way for years, but no action has been taken on the matter. We tried, Laiapu Community Development Corporation, because of our 501c3 status, tried to participate with VOLA. In December, I requested to join the park committee. Then January, I requested. And then Mark Sawyer, the agent for the department, was at the meeting. And yesterday came up to me and asked me if I was included in the committee to help the association build the park. But no, I told him no. And so he was quite surprised by the association's rejection of my request to help. The association does not qualify to do this work because they're an association and they don't have a 501c3 status, in which you need to go get grant funding for the project itself, and they don't qualify for that. So I tried my best to participate, but now in this case, we would ask you to approve or review our Laiapua CDC Park ROE related to our application. And then now we're going to step forward because they don't want our help. We will be seeking funding coming in the fall, both by this agency, capacity building funding. We'll be seeking CIP funding, the regional plan funding from the department. We'll be also seeking matching funds from our legislators at the GIA, Granting Aid. We got support for this project, both the preschool and the park. If we're successful, both projects could run simultaneously and more efficiently and more cost effectively if we're able to put two projects together. So I think, when you try to consolidate these things, like when you build the PUD, you're not going to build one house, but you're going to build multiple houses so you can take advantage of the cost savings. So this is the approach that we want to take with respect to the park and the preschool. Priority projects, of course, we thank the department in its wisdom to purchase the Giannalis property for the purposes of developing water for our communities. That was primary. That was the biggest ticket item in our regional plan, in the 2020 regional plan. It was a priority number one. We received, thank you very much yesterday, the right of entry to take this property, to take Malama, this property, for 12 more months. And we will do our best. As you've seen, we've already been able to do some of the repairs to the catchment system that services the building, the house, the residential unit. There are 3 trees that need to be removed. As of yesterday, we did another assessment, and we'll be sending in the requests with bids related to the removal of the trees that are going to impact the electrical grid and infrastructure. So this is a must. And I'm hoping that time permit, we will take you up there and you can see the risk that is involved. The next renewable energy project, O'Oma Homestead Alliance, which was made up of beneficiaries from the homestead. We were a beneficiary-held corporation, and we missed it by 0.5 point from a corporation from the mainland. But we should have been given that opportunity. But I'm not here to cry about that. I'm here to express my concern that over the years now, we're waiting for this project to take shape. I don't think it would have taken us that long. We had the funding, $46 million. We had the wherewithal. We had a purchase agreement with Korea. I'm a little bit disappointed But again, I'm not about here to cry wolf. Let's get NextAmp to do their job. Because the longer we take, the longer our homesteaders lose the benefit of the energy savings we could take related to this project. That was the whole point. Get 50% off of your energy. But if there's no project, then there's no savings. So I had encouraged the department to kind of look at that. This hearing today is not an action hearing hearing. I get it. But if I can offer this information about the severity of this project and the implication it has long-term for our community, I think it warrants maybe the department's review of NextAmp's development scheme. Okay, so our fund development campaign will be coming out with a heavy fund development campaign. You're looking at the fund development campaigner and the one guy. But we cohesively, having written many grants now, and wrote grants for the medical center in excess of $15 million, the dental center, the community center, again, raised money through new market tax credits and so on. We have the capacity to seek the kind of funding we need to get these projects done for our community. I have 2 minutes left, so if Mike would put up this proposal for the boat. I'm not sure if any of you were here last night, but I'll take my 2 minutes left to do that. So Laiapo CDC proposes a right of entry to Honokaha Park for a boat and vehicular storage facility. Our DCCR prohibits boat parking in our community. Next. And this is the section 52002 subsection M prohibits boat and vehicular, business type of. And we'll go right through them. Boat, next. Boat, trailer, boat, trailers, boat. Yep, keep going. Thank you, Mike. Okay, hang on right there. So we have several large vehicles. These types of vehicles should not be in our community for the risk they pose, the health risk. These types of vehicles and the size of our street does not accommodate this kind of traffic. So it's imperative that we try to look for a solution, and we think we've got one related to the storage facility project. Next. More boats, boat. Again, these vehicles, next. Boat, vehicle. Hold on, this particular vehicle poses another serious risk when you look at where it's parked. It's really parked on the sidewalk, blinding people from the oncoming traffic. But it doesn't fit our roadway. Now, I am the last person would tell you that I don't like these guys. These guys got to work. They need this job. They need this job. But unfortunately, our community wasn't designed to take on this kind of vehicular traffic. So having this storage facility might help to reduce that risk for the department. And it poses a risk to the department because as the declarant, you say that in your DCCRs, when somebody come get hurt, they're going to come after you. They're not going to come after Laiapo CDC. So I'm raising the real issues. Next. More boats, boat.
Be polite.
Boats. And we got them all over. Which boat? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the storage facility, this is the Honokaha access place, the access road. So if you have gone to the harbor, you pretty much know where that is. This is the actual gate area that's proposed for the facility. It fronts or it backs into the Veterans of Foreign Affairs. I think they don't have an entitlement there. These are placed as monuments. I don't believe that they have. So we intend to work with them to move their monument somewhere else. Next. Next. So this is the access to the facility. Next. Okay, hold on. This is the water POC, point of connection. So if anything is more critical is water, but our facility doesn't require it because the boat harbor has a washdown facility just across the way, right next to the ramp where you lodge and dispatch your boat. Next. Next. Yep. This is the site that the department owns right now currently. We understand too that there is negotiations going on with the county and so on. And that makes a lot of sense. I'm the president of West Hawaii Parks and Athletic Corporation. Along with CDC, we support that transaction. We support what you call the swap, if you may. Next. This is they now call it the yard, but this used to be Gentry boat parking. If you can look closely, it's pretty full. And tried to get some estimates about how much they charge per linear foot per boat, but they haven't been able to get back to me yet. Next. This is the proposed site. It's 12 acres. And tried my best to put that together on the GFI and the GIA, what do you call, the county website. So this is, the numbers are about as close as we're going to get, but this is exactly where the road meets the driveway on the right-hand side, on the very right corner of the top. That's the road leading into the yeah, that's the road leading into the harbor with the white line. Yep, that's it. So we got a budget together. We put together a budget because I think, Poho, if I come over here, tell you guys we like build this, but we don't know, understand what's going to cost us. Well, right now it's 1.184 million. So $1 million to get a facility that could generate income, both for the LCDC as well as the association. One of our long-term things is to generate enough income to provide grants and scholarships to our community. That's our goal. Right now, we're not making any money, but when we do, that's our goal. And if we can make some small money to give back to the community, that's one of the goals that we intend to pursue. When you look at this particular MOO, it's specific to the design, the engineering, the fencing, and the civil work. So this is from review to compaction to POW. So 1.1 million, we might get a gratis if the department is willing to consider the fact that the civil engineer would give us a discount, if not, do the job for a 2-acre piece of this parcel to store his equipment. Currently, he pays a large sum of money for his storage, but this would be long-term if it came. So essentially, we might walk away with less than $500,000 to do this job. That's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. This Laopua CDC, that's 501c3.
Yes.
In existence.
Yeah, we're a federally recognized 501c3.
And then it's made up of people from Laopua.
Yes. May I have my board members stand up, please? Etidara Ayo and Charlene Kahomoku. And then we have several other members of our community that are here today, Earl and Kapiolani.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys are from the community.
Yeah, we are from the,
Obviously, with all these pictures, you know where the boats are and the trucks and all of that.
yeah, it was hard for me to go take these pictures because, you know, you don't want to imply the wrong, you know, stuff. But the truth is that we're trying to help. We're trying to help the department help our beneficiaries to find solutions to a legal problem, right? You got a legal issue on your hand because of the parking. But if we can work this out, I think everybody wins. And there'll be a favorable, I think, unlike Laiupu 2020, they charge a handsome they charge too much to rent their facility. We would consider a reasonable storage facility fee for our beneficiaries.
So you're asking for a 12-acre parcel.
12 acres
And it
total.
would be not only storage for boats, but also trucks?
Trucks, boats, anytime. And we generate income for those out that when if we can have a space available.
And how would you determine who can park their boats? I mean, priority would be given to the Laiopua?
Yeah, we give priority to our beneficiaries first.
And then beyond that, if there's any access?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how we generate our income, is to open the spaces to the general public.
Well, I know in Princess Kahanu, we have a Otasi group, the MDI, built a community center along with a boat storage facility, and it's well used. So, you know, tying into the community obviously makes sense. Then you also have the county that wants to put the park adjacent.
That's correct. Yes.
So how would that kind of work with a park and the storage with?
Well, I really didn't know. You know, the other option would be to wait to the transfer and then put it on the other side on a flat zone.
So we'd have to do some master planning so it's, especially the traffic flow and stuff. We don't want to, you know, obviously endanger the park users.
Yeah, yeah. The boat harbor is not going to go away. The traffic related to the boat is not going to go away. So whether egress or egress, it's going to happen. So now, assuming, of course, there's a storage facility, you know, you park inside the storage facility, and when you come out, you go straight to the harbor. There's no turns, there's no left or right, except unless you're taking it to a shop for repair or something. But yeah, there's no traffic except from the storage facility, you cross the street into the harbor. That's it.
That's right there.
Yeah, right there.
It makes sense. Okay. Okay. You have an engineer that's willing to do the work. He wants maybe 2 acres so you can get a discount.
Yeah.
Would that be permanent or temporary or?
That would be subject to the commission's approval, but it'd be long-term. It'd be long-term. So
you'd have a subleasing situation.
Yeah, a sublease for that.
That would be something.
It would be long-term because of he's putting up $1 million on the project. So if you do the math on how much he's paying now over that term, I would say that'd be fair.
Oh, so he's putting up the money to build the park, the storage?
Well,
not the park, but the storage.
That's subject to you guys' review and approval. But yeah, we're going to be tossing that around, subject to his 2-acre parcel.
Or possibly getting a grant or a loan. Or
well, I'm going to get a grant. I'm going to write it. I'm going to try and seek it. But
okay. Now there might be others that are interested in doing this particular approach, as you may be aware. So that's something, you know, obviously if you represent the community, especially Laiopua, that's different. You know, we would give you guys obviously priority, I would think, a commission, and that is a commission decision.
Yeah.
But it does make sense. It's your community and you guys want to run it, generate money for your members.
Correct.
Versus some outsiders coming in and their native wine.
This definitely follows the Kule'a Ikanuu program from 2009. the CDCs were intended for this particular purpose. So, yeah.
Okay, any questions, commissioners?
Chair, I have two.
Commissioner Ornelas?
First of all, I just have a question about liability. So if I own a boat and I park it on my property, assuming it has insurance, then I'm liable for any damages that to the boat when it's parked in my yard. Who would be ultimately liable? Is it your CDC? Is it the department? Because I saw a fence in your plan, but I don't see cameras or any other kind of security measures.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of security measures. There'll be other elements of this. This is just a general schematic overview of what we're putting up. But there'll be cameras. There'll be fencing. I believe it's an 8-foot fence with wire. We have a gate that's card control. So if you have a storage there, a spot, you can only enter it with your card.
Thank you. But ultimately, who's responsible for any damages?
Well, we hold the insurance on the property. Yeah, we would be responsible for any damages that occur on property, subject to an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're over there working on their property and they blow it up, that's on them.
Yeah, I was just wondering because these are high ticket item.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're talking about high ticket items of boat and sewer pumping trucks. And I mean, they're very, very expensive. And so I'm just wondering, like, if I own a boat and I'm interested in using your facility, what assurance do I have as a boat or truck owner? Or, I mean, could it even spill into heavy equipment or something like that?
I think our insurance policy would carry all of the necessary coverages related to that type of what you call indemnity.
Right. That's where I'm going. Is it going to be explicitly indemnified to the department? Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a given.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
J4. Okay. Any other questions? If not, okay, thank you, Bo.
Mahalo.
Okay, we're gonna recall J4, Kalani Akeo Wilson and Kepa Kaeo.
Aloha, Haolila me this month, year of the fire horse. Let's end the wait list together and stop the Americanization genocide, targeting waitlisters for over a century when they pass away, waiting on the list. I'm Dr. Genocide Wilson today. This is Kepa, my son Kaohanui, and we're waitlisters. Next. So the commission approved these DHHL districts. Hamakua, where Waimeanui sits in, and this is specifically towards the planning report submitted to the commission. So I had to read that a few times, and I'm going to share with you guys some things. So Hamakua or Waimeanui, they already have a large part of Mauna Kea in their district. The blue part on the right, that's in the Hilo district, where Humu'ula sits in, the Aina Mauna legacy that I'm speaking to. Next. So Waimeanui really manages 2/3 of Mauna Kea currently from where they sit. The back, that's the Kohala Mountains, the plain, all the way up to Mauna Kea on their side. And even over to the other side, over to the top, according to the current breakdown. But somehow we came into a competition sort of presenting business plans in the community where we had to suffer a lot of slander from Waimea Nui community that you guys can see that's submitted in the planning report that we did not ask for as waitlisters. I've been a waitlister for over 2 decades. Next. So August 23rd, 2024, senior planner Lily, on a YouTube video that she has out, she says this section, Humu'ula, the little one on the red that we applied for, is in the Hilomoku. And that red area, she specifically says, is commercial use only. And this is her on the YouTube video that you can find online. Next. So C1 in the Aina Mauna Legacy is designated for business plans and commercial use to generate revenue. Hawaii County Planner from the Hawaii County Planning Office says there was 2 plans. When she reviewed the videos, there's 2 different plans. One was a cultural stewardship plan. Ours was a business plan. And she says you cannot operate a cultural stewardship plan in a commercial designated land area, and you cannot operate a business plan in a cultural stewardship designated area. So furthermore, in the videos, Waimea Nui president states this is not a business plan, but specifically in C1 is designated commercial by the planner 2 years ago. Therefore, the Waimea Nui plan cannot apply to C1 in the Aina Mauna Legacy, and really the commission risks nullifying all previous regional plans and land designations if Waimea is given a part of C1, because it's not a business plan. It's a cultural stewardship plan. So really, if we can submit different types of plans for different designations, then that would mean all designations are nullified. Next. So senior planner report to the commission that was made, I identified maybe certain things, might be misuse of position, state ethic codes violations, Uniform Information Practices Act. Planner definitely preferences one applicant, Waimea Nui, over the waitlister plan. There was a lot of locker room talk from the ILA administration that carried over from Kuali'i, and Kuali'i, he did some things, especially opening the sheep station and handing over the key to the people living in there, which government workers are not supposed to hand over keys to locked designated areas. They lose their job for that, but that definitely happened. So to me, the planning report that was submitted to the commission intentionally misleads you guys, and I'm gonna provide some examples. So the planning report aligns with the slander from the community portraying waitlisters as greedy, dishonest, untrustworthy. That was pretty hard to swallow because us waitlisters, we don't have anything. So I don't know why we're greedy. Waimea Nui got 9 nonprofits. They got one greenhouse graveyard in their community and many other projects. Their cup is over full already. Us waitlisters who we're making the priority according to the Kalima case and the Kanahele case is what should be the priority. And pitting us up against a homestead association is really hurtful for us, receiving the slander that we did. And actually, bullying some kupuna in Waimea that supports us in the local stores over there. Next. So there's actually a inappropriate cultural relationship that occurred where Waimea Nui person that was presenting was called Kumu, and the DHHL planner that was at the meeting called him Kumu, and the exchange of lays occurred. So when you say you're the Kumu, you automatically identify yourself as the haumana in the halau in the school, and that requires loyalty, obedience, respect, and support as the haumana or the student as an insubordinate. And, sometimes Kumu can weigh in these cultural practices in their halal school, which could lead to expulsion, suspension, fines, discipline from their halal cultural schools. So that kind of concerned me because this was not identified in the commission report, which I think is really, really important, that occurred at one of the meetings. Next. So the senior planner report to the commission, page 1. In their presentation, they never said toll booth. They never said that type of business entity. And you guys should really watch the 2 videos. It's really, really long. But she inserts their operation of a toll. So I'm like wondering, where does that come from? Because that's what we was saying the entire time. And we was actually coming in like, let's share, let's share, let's share, let's share. But then after that meeting, Auntie Kanani said, "Ekuli ke kako." We all held hands. We all sang together. And then the next meeting in Thursday, they said, pretty much, we're not going to share. Mauna Kea is Waimea's. And, even though if you're from Waimea, but you don't live there, you have no say over this. And the reason why I say that, because one kupuna in Keokaha stops me in Long. She says, "Kalani akia. You was okay?" I said, "Yeah, Auntie, I was okay. I was fine." And then she tells me, when the boy said, you cannot come back home to Waimea, your genealogical ties. She said, "I couldn't sleep that night." And I said, "Yeah, me too, Auntie. I felt the same way." So with that, whoever is going to be up here has to portray leadership that collaborates with everybody, that works with everybody. You cannot be siloed into one place and not share and collaborate with everybody, especially if you're going to be up there. And that clearly happened, and that clearly wasn't communicated in this planner report. Next. So another thing she puts there in page 2 is Nakupa o Kuhio, sustainable core forestry. She states in that page that they didn't go through beneficiary consultation. They didn't go through informational meetings, and their parcel was approved. So that should have happened to us. The same thing. When we submitted our plan, because it's a regional plan, and because the process and procedures states that if it's a regional plan and approved, these certain plans go to the commission for approval if everything is okay. But that did not happen to us. And that it is what it is, but we're still moving forward. Yeah, next. So the part that got me to want to do this type of presentation is this part right here. She states Waimea Nui 46 beneficiary, Koakia'i 26 beneficiary, 5 non-beneficiary, that top part. But she really left out a really, really important part. And that part was she did not post the videos for 25 days. She did not post the videos for 25 days. In Keaukaha, all the people that supported us wanted to see the video on Tuesday. What happened? So they waited. They waited, and we all waited. And I emailed, "What's happening? How come you're not posting the video for 25 days?" Yeah, because there's a clear intention that we wouldn't get the support we needed, but we wanted informed support. Watch the 2 videos, make your decision. And clearly, after the video was posted, those last 5 days, it was 30-1 when you watch the 2 videos. So I would encourage every commission, before you make a choice on this, watch the 3 videos in its entirety. Because clearly, when you watch the 3 videos, all of our support comes from everywhere. Keaukaha, Panaewa, Maku, Kaumana, Pi'ionua, even Waimea Nui, waitlisters, and the neighbor islands, and out of state. And if the notification went to 30,000 waitlisters, guess who would be chosen? The program and organization that wants to prioritize ending the waitlist. That's us. Would have been 30,000-0. Next. So this is the reason why I did this, because she takes a shot at me. She says, out of all the comments that was up on the thing, she takes the first comment from the first Waimea person, while some commented expressly that past action by Koakia'i's leadership has an inability to work collaboratively. I was like, wow. Is she taking sides or is she taking shots? She's doing both. When Koakia'i presented to the beneficiaries, their business plan spoke to the need to get waitlisters off the list. The Koakia'i are asking for join-in approach, looking at how they can help the HHL help the people. This is the right attitude and is what will address the critical gaps. It is time for this way of working together. Koakia'i are well supported by multiple factions of the community. This shows integrity and ability to leverage resources in order to build capital. Koakia'i are looking to benefit the Lahui. Emphasis has been upon the collective. Koakia'i are knowledgeable about staying in alignment with the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. Both the HHL and the beneficiaries will find value with the Koakia'i. Everyone benefits. The projected revenues alone speak volumes of the positive impacts upon beneficiaries. Koakia'i all the way. After watching the video and talking to people, Koakia'i plan is a plan for the Kanaka, island-wide and nationwide as a model. Waimea Nui is Waimea Nui, just about them. So if you look at how all of the comments was set up, yeah, all of their comments come from the first day when they went to the meeting. Majority, I would say 90-something%, right? Physical papers. Next. So, and the planner also withheld our support letters that we submitted with right after our application. And our support letters came from all East Hawaii homestead organizations because it's in the Hilomoku. That's why we spoke to them first. All royal orders on the island of Hawaii. The Association of Hawaiian Homelands Waitlisters, OHA trustee Dana Huna, Kuamo'o Legacy Foundation, and we made presentations to the mayor's office and governor's office, said, go ahead, do the best you can to end the wait list. We said we're going to try our best. Waimea Nui is just themselves. So the report that was given to you guys portrays a totally different perspective. Because I guarantee you, if those videos was live, wouldn't even be on comparison. The waitlisters and the entire archipelago would say Koakia'i, hands down. So I don't like to do this. I like to be positive, look at the bigger apples, like maybe 6 billion. Let's work towards getting 6 billion for you guys to get everybody off the way. I'd rather do that. But when government employees try to take shots at me and my ability to collaborate, all of those organizations there would not be doing that if we had an inability to collaborate. So that is very misleading. And that is slander and defamation to my character as a PhD and doctor that I worked really, really hard on with many, many, many people. And I don't deserve that.
In closing, we ain't here to cry over spilt milk. I'm not going to look at this PowerPoint ever again. We survived 3 governors. We have brought Moko Keawe together and statewide. And I'm really, really excited on where we're headed. Thank you guys for your time. And we appreciate everything that you guys do. And let's holo mua. Mahalo.
Okay, let me
let's end the wait list together.
Let me kind of respond, but more importantly, I appreciate you guys' passion as well as your objectives on what you're trying to do. You're trying to end the wait list, and you and I, we sat together not too long ago, and you guys shared some of the ideas that made a lot of sense to me regarding income production, which you could use to obviously maybe help reduce the wait list, as well as, other programs, employment, all kind of good stuff. And so that's kind of the focus that I'd like to hear out of you guys. Granted, maybe your experience on that those meetings was not a positive one, as well as the report. But what I'd like to do is put that on the side, and then kind of elaborate, as well as support, as well as look at and develop some of the great ideas you shared with me, which I thought was really positive and a lot of potential. And it was kind of funny that you just happened to be here while Bo is talking about this storage with boats and trucks. And that was one of the ideas you guys shared with me. Obviously, if there were a choice, we'd have to give it to the community that represents the community, which is adjacent, is going to kind of service the community, just like how we're doing it in Princess Kahanu. So I think you guys can appreciate that. But, we would make it a fair thing. But you guys came up with some other ideas that I thought were excellent. That just need to be developed, similar to how Bo is doing. He's got a budget, he's got a civil engineer, he's got, kind of plans, and he's quantified the area as well as projected costs and, real substance to it. As well as he has, like you guys have a 501c3, I'm assuming, right? It's qualified and active and in compliance and all that good stuff. And then you guys have, I'm assuming, a lot of support. You guys identified all this support. So all these areas out there, besides Waimea, that area that is in question, which I don't see why you can't be a part of that too.
Right.
So that's something we need to explore and put some substance to it and help facilitate it. The commission has a tough job. I mean, we got kind of all these competing interests. I don't look at it as competing. I look at it as a collaborative, a supporting, and all these, the energy and passion that you guys have is very strong. And you've done a lot of work and you have some great ideas. So let's work with that. Let's, the department is here to facilitate. We have, real sharp commissioners that can, appreciate what you guys are talking about. They're more familiar with their areas. So obviously I'm going to defer to the commissioners as well as, and you guys have had discussion with Commissioner Kalikini as well as myself and others. So it's not a matter of, we got shortchanged, we got disrespected, we got slandered. If you want to go that route, that's fine. That's your choice.
No.
But I don't think so. I think you want to work with us.
Yep.
So that I'm reaching out to you guys. I think we as a board are reaching out to you guys to work with you guys. And that's come back, put together, work with us in, master planning certain areas as well as developing some of the ideas you guys have. And let's get it done, guys.
Just one more thing, Commissioner.
Chair.
Chair, sorry. Yes, the frustration, the comments made off of what we were sharing, that's just the humanistic part of us, right?
Sure.
And it ain't nothing personal. Like I told you earlier, once we're done with this presentation, we're going to have amnesia. We're not going to look back.
Good.
And so we're solid as the word that comes out. Mahalo for your
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners, or comments? If not, we thank you guys. We'll continue the dialogue, guys. Let's kind of get some stuff going.
Mahalo, Chair.
Mahalo,
And just to let you guys know, Uncle Pat approved the $7 billion legislative requests coming up in 2027. So let's work on that together and let's focus on that. Yes, $7 billion.
I'll be there, but
And the wait.
I'm gonna hold my breath on that one, guys.
No worry. We get them. We get the other part.
Okay.
Commissioners, Chair. Mahalo.
Thank you. Okay, J8, Yana Kekoa.
Aloha mai kako and Hawaiian Homes Commissioners. I am Kiana Kekoa, advocating on behalf of the fledgling Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group. I am a Pu'ukapu Waimea successor beneficiary, a Kamehameha Kapalama alumna, a 13-year U.S. Coast Guard veteran, and a law student at the University of Hawaii. I am testifying from Maui, where I serve as a charter officer of the Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group. My message today is threefold. First, an introduction to the Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group, the 4,780-acre Waiahuli Makai Aina, and the needs that would be met by developing this upcountry Maui homelands. Can we go to the next slide on the PowerPoint, please? Next slide, please. Thank you. The 2-month-old Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group includes 5 initial leaders: President Guy Ki'aha Jr., a Waiahuli residential lessee; Vice President Noe Asuega Stark, a Pu'uhona residential lessee; Treasurer Leanne Kele Ponce, a Maui residential and agricultural waitlister; our kāko'o, Uncle Jimmy Kincaid, who is number 6 on the Maui pastoral waitlist, and myself as secretary. Our mission is to engage and educate beneficiaries about Hawaiian Homes Commission Act provisions, rights, and entitlements, collaborate with the Department of Hawaiian Homelands to build a farming, ranching, and affordable housing community in upcountry Maui, and promote and enhance our culture through traditional agricultural practices. Next slide, please. Waiahuli Makai comprises nearly 5,000 acres of fallow Hawaiian homelands designated as general agriculture. The Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group was founded with the intent to bring 1,200 Hawaiian home lessees to these Hawaiian homelands. In collaboration with Pa'upena Community Development, Inc., the Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group sought a 7-month limited right of entry to gather on and bond with the subject acreage. Next slide, please. Bringing a Waiahuli Makai Hawaiian Homestead subdivision to fruition would help fulfill at least 3 major needs involving health, agriculture, and affordable housing for our Kanaka. Next slide, please. Waiahuli Makai farmers and ranchers would address health needs with fresh, affordable produce, meat, eggs, and dairy. Backyard and community gardens plus commercial farming fields would help bolster food sovereignty while uplifting traditional farming practices and crops. Next slide, please. Waiahuli Makai would also provide affordable housing and further advance DHHL's initiatives to return Hawaiians to their lands. Next slide, please. I am honored and privileged as a Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group Charter Officer to represent more than 9,000 Maui lease applicants. On behalf of the Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group, I invite you, commissioners, to a site tour before the Maui Commission meetings, scheduled September 21st in Lahaina and November 16th in Pokukalo, to view these expansive homelands. Mahalo nui for your attention and support of the Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group, and mahalo for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the J9, Zelda Moletta. Okay, there, J10, Daniel Luke and Ginger Goodwin.
Ginger. Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm going to speak for Daniel Luke right now because he's not able to make it. I'm just going to introduce our new board in Kaupea. Our president is Daniel Luke. Our vice president is Ivalani McBrayer. Our secretary is Debbie Tokuda. Treasurer is Kehau Holy Rob. Board of Directors, Margaret Alama, Visa Castillo, and Ginger Goodwin. Mahalo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the next J11, Rose Hattori.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Please. There you go.
Okay. Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the Hawaiian Homes Commission. Aloha mai kako. My name
Hello.
is Rose Hattori.
Hello.
And I am
I don't
Aloha.
see picture. Did you want
I'm not
to?
sure what's happening with my video. I put my camera on, but the device is, I don't know,
Your
been
camera is,
acting up.
Is it off?
yeah,
My
your
camera is
camera's
on.
but it looks like the cover or the
No.
no.
Your computer doesn't
Oh,
have a little switch on the camera.
see, I got it from somebody.
Oh, there you go.
My bad.
Now you
Oh,
now.
yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
You might want to turn
Too
that
much sun.
light, or you got a
Too much
bright
sun.
light in the back.
Yeah, that's the window.
Maybe move your head away to the other side of body.
One moment.
All right, there you go. Yeah, that's a lot better.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right. Start again.
Yep, start again.
Thank you. Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the Hawaiian Homes Commission. Aloha mai kako. My name
Hello.
is Rose Hattori, and I am a Hawaii Island waitlist beneficiary. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify today regarding the proposed rulemaking under HAR Section 10-3-12 concerning the Pilina-based priority waitlist. I stand today in strong support of the Waiahuli Makai Homelands Advocacy Group and in respectful but firm opposition to the proposed Pilina-based priority waitlist amendments. I speak not as a policy expert or attorney, but as one of thousands of Native Hawaiian beneficiaries who have waited decades for access to Hawaiian homelands. For many beneficiaries, this wait has lasted not merely years, but generations. The current waitlist system, while imperfect, has long been understood to operate primarily according to chronological order based on date of application. Families plan their futures around that understanding. Many kupuna applied believing that their children or grandchildren would eventually receive the opportunity promised under the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. Today, many applicants have waited 20, 30, 40, and even over 50 years. The proposed Pilina-based priority system changes that expectation by introducing a genealogical and regional preference structure that could allow newer applicants to move ahead of long-waiting beneficiaries based upon ancestral ties to specific areas. I respectfully believe this undermines the fairness and integrity of the existing waitlist system. The Hawaiian Homes Commission Act was intended to rehabilitate Native Hawaiians collectively, not to divide beneficiaries into categories based upon regional ancestry, historical residency, or the ability to document generational ties to a particular fahi. Many Hawaiian families were displaced from ancestral lands through forces beyond their control. Some were pushed into plantation labor systems. Some relocated because of military occupation, economic hardship, lack of housing, or employment opportunities. Others were separated from ancestral communities through urban migration and the historical realities faced by Native Hawaiians throughout the islands. Those beneficiaries should not now be disadvantaged because they cannot prove continuous genealogical or historical residency ties to a particular area. I am also deeply concerned about the administrative burdens and iniquities this proposal could create, requiring beneficiaries to produce genealogical documentation proving ancestral residency before 1900 or demonstrating extended regional connection may sound reasonable on paper, but in practice, it creates barriers for many Hawaiian families. Not every family.
The successors.
Not every family has access to historical records, land documents, or genealogical resources. Some records were lost. Some families were fragmented. Some kupuna passed without written documentation. As a result, this process could create disputes, contested cases, appeals, and further delays for beneficiaries who have already waited decades. At a time when our people are asking for faster access to land, housing, and rehabilitation, I fear this proposal may instead increase bureaucracy, division, and delay. Rather than reorganizing the wait list, I respectfully urge the Commission to focus on immediate land activation strategies that expand access fairly for all beneficiaries. In particular, I strongly support the Waiahuli Makai advocacy group's proposed dual track approach for approximately 4,780 acres of general agricultural lands in upcountry Maui. This approach recognizes an important truth. Beneficiaries should not be forced to wait decades for full infrastructure build out before receiving meaningful access to Aina. The department already poses tools capable of activating lands now through revocable permits, agricultural licenses, stewardship agreements, and subsistence agriculture programs. These mechanisms allow beneficiaries to begin using and caring for the land immediately, while long-term planning and infrastructure development continue in parallel. This dual track approach fulfills the intent of the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act in a real and practical way. It places beneficiaries onto the land now, not generations from now. I strongly support subsistence agriculture as part of this model. Food insecurity affects many Native Hawaiian families today. Allowing beneficiaries to cultivate food helps reduce living costs, strengthen self-sufficiency, reconnect families to cultural practices, and restore relationships with Aina. I especially wish to emphasize the importance of kalo cultivation. I was mentored by the late Jerry Kononui of Hilo, who taught that kalo is not merely a crop, but an ancestral connection and a cultural foundation for our people. Kalo cultivation restores not only land, but identity, ike kupuna, and community responsibility. Additionally, based upon recent observations following Kona storms, there appears to be strong potential for water capture across portions of these lands. Through swales, retention basins, and traditional Hawaii-style irrigation systems, portion of these lands could support sustainable agriculture, watershed restoration, and cultural revitalization simultaneously. Importantly, this dual track activation model benefits all beneficiaries equally. It does not create divisions based upon genealogy or regional preference. Instead, it creates immediate access, active stewardship, cultural perpetuation, food security, and smarter long-term development planning. This is a path that unites beneficiaries rather than separating them. The Commission has an opportunity to move Hawaiian Homeland's policy toward action instead of delay, toward inclusion instead of division, toward land activation instead of additional layers of administrative review. I respectfully urge the Commission to reject the proposed amendments to HAR Section 10-3-12 and instead prioritize policies that preserve fairness in the chronological waitlist system, accelerate land activation, expand beneficiary access, and uphold equal trust responsibility to all Native Hawaiian beneficiaries. Mahalo nui loa for your time, your service, and the opportunity to testify today.
Okay, thank you very much. Next person, J12, Kenna Stormer Gibson.
Hannah.
Oh, hi. Okay, great. Aloha, commissioners. Is there a way to turn my video on?
You should be able to.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Oh, hey. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Do I have 1 minute for time? Okay. Aloha, Chairman Watson, and commissioners, I very much appreciate the opportunity to publicly testify, as of course I have been for over 2 years now, about Waipoli courtyards. And I wanted to say I've been here on Kauai, talking to residents. As you know, only 27, maybe 26 beneficiaries have opted for this lease opportunity at Waipoli, which leaves over 50 units not currently needed. And yet, even though there are many empty units right now, probably enough to satisfy the current low demand from beneficiaries on Kauai, nonetheless, residents continue to get 90-day notices without being shown a comparable apartment, as promised by federal law and this agency, right? So the way the Uniform Relocation Act works is you are to be given a comparable apartment before being pushed out, because the concept is that our tax dollars should not be spent either creating homelessness or housing insecurity, right? And the reality of this situation, I was just talking to residents today and yesterday that have been receiving very threatening notices, including a resident who said she was literally, it was the 5th of the month, and she was told, oh, you are in default and your rental agreement will be terminated for non-payment of rent. We are giving you a 10 calendar day notice of termination for failure to pay rent, according to HRS 52168. This notice was given. And these are residents who have still not been provided comparable housing, or when they find comparable housing, there are residents who have found comparable housing and have said, hey, this is going to cost, for example, if you find something comparable in Kauai and it's $1,000 more per month, right? Because Kauai is expensive. Federal law says you get 42 months of rent assistance plus moving costs. So imagine you have spent months searching for an apartment. You find one, it's $1,000 more, and you tell DHHL, hey, I would like my rent assistance in writing that I get my $42,000 so I can stay for 42 months. And imagine DHHL refuses to answer. No answer. No answer from Melissa Mann, the relocation specialist, who is now telling people, you got to talk to the lawyer. Talk to the lawyer, you cannot speak to me anymore. Okay. Then they talk to the lawyer and the lawyer says, no response. Actually, what residents are being told is we don't have the budget for that. Either no response or our budget is a maximum of 13,000, however far it gets you. And if 13,000 only lasts you a few months on Kauai, hey, that's your problem. So here we have a situation where developers were paid very lucrative commissions with very little financial oversight, $4.2 million for light renovation work, barely any construction work needed on this apartment right now, this apartment complex. And residents are being either not communicated with or shortchanged on their federal benefits and their federal rights. So I'm just, I continue to come here to say, it is important to follow the, I guess, the federal guidelines that using the HASDA money requires, right? So I would encourage commissioners to bring this relocation company, this Melissa Mann person who supposedly works for Cadence 19, but is not talking to residents, is not providing them accurate information. You guys should call them up to a commission meeting and ask why residents are getting such terrible information assistance and general just lack of support in this relocation process. So it's not too late to ensure that federal rights are upheld and I think everyone would prefer that. Meanwhile, the lawsuit continues, so we are continuing in our litigation. There are still 4 active lawsuits, and we are, hopeful that in a court of law, people can be heard. People can be finally heard regarding their federal rights. So I would encourage this commission to look a little more deeply into what is happening with Waipoli courtyards. And in the meantime, I appreciate this opportunity to publicly share what's happening and just kind of keep people updated on this relocation.
Okay, thank you. Let's see who's next. J13, Jermaine Taguchi.
Hello.
Hi, Jermaine.
Hello.
Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, DHHL Chair, Commissioners, lessees, wet listers, and guests. My name is Jermaine Toguchi. I am a homestead bred,
Morning.
Calpare registered successor, a Calpare resident, and a waitlister. I'm here today to provide an update regarding the recent Calpare Homestead Association community election meeting. The election meeting was successful and was the first valid election voted on by Calpare lessees in several years. The election was assisted by representatives from Waianae Valley Homestead, the Hawaii Housing Policy Foundation, and the League of Women Voters. Calpare lessees now understand that an elected Calpare Homestead Association Board of Directors does exist. We respectfully ask DHHL and other entities to recognize the newly elected Board of Directors as they were elected by Calpare lessees according to Calpare bylaws. Calpare residents are excited to begin a new chapter of honest, transparent, and accountable leadership for our Homestead Association. However, there are some concerns regarding delays in the transfer of requested association documents, records, and access to association communication account. At the May 12th community meeting, a question was raised regarding the transfer of the Calpare email address. Access was not provided because personal emails were stated to be included in the account. This raises concerns about association records, communication access, and the proper transition of leadership. We respectfully request DHHL's guidance and assistance to ensure that all association documents, records, email access, financial records, meeting minutes, and related materials are properly transferred to the newly elected board. We are respectfully request a review or audit of association records of appropriate to ensure transparency and accountability regarding any association funds or prior management decision. On a separate issue, we ask DHHL to ensure that current and future developers, lease management contracts, and related projects awards are handled through a clear, fair, and transparent process. We ask the DHHL provide beneficiary consultation and public transparency with developers or management companies are selected for DHHL projects. We also ask DHHL to review and disclose any potential conflicts of interest, especially if the same individual or connected entities appear under different project, management, or developer roles. At the end of the day, DHHL is a trust. Beneficiaries must have a voice in decisions that affect our homesteads, our communities, and our future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, J13, Ginger Goodwin.
Ginger. Meet her. Ginger.
Sorry, aloha, Chair and Commissioners.
Aloha.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. My name is Ginger Goodwin, and I am a lessee in Kaupea. I too will be speaking on our election that took place. So for 4 months, we went quickly throughout our community to gather consensus and amplify the voices of lessees calling for change. So on April 14, 2026, the vision became a reality through a community election. While there were hurdles to overcome, the process was undeniable success because of these reasons. The people showed up, the people voted, and their voices were heard. The people have also been the focus of this effort. It was never about the canvassers, while some choose to label this movement as divisive among the families. I believe that this perspective is unfortunate and very misguided. Truth be told, this process did not bring division, but much needed awareness to long overdue issues and provided clarity where there was once none. Transparency is often mistaken for conflict, but it is the essential foundation of a healthy, growing community. We now have a board in place. The people voted because they want transparency, accountability, and real solutions results. We need to work together to support this new leadership in moving our association toward the positive progress Kaupea deserves. Mahalo and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure, can you call me Aita?
Any Aya
Or Demont Manoale?
or Demont Manole?
Or Zelda Moleta?
Zelda Moleta?
Otherwise, we're
You
done.
call too, you know.
Otherwise, we're done.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, so last call for Annie Aya, Demont Manaole, Zelda Moleta, or Britt Kauanoe. If these J agenda testifiers are not here, then we've come to the end of our agenda. So last call.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We have come to the end of this month's agenda. Thank you so much for your participation. What group is this in front of us? Who are you guys? Oh, Hawaii Community Lending. Did you guys want to say something while you're here? It seems like you got a huge group. Oh, Chanel. Okay.
Hawaii Community Lending. I love you guys. You guys are so wonderful. And I'm so grateful for all the work that you guys are doing on Hawaii Island. And I'm so honestly grateful for the opportunity to serve beneficiaries. I'm really looking forward to this evening helping folks build homes. Anybody that's online and you guys are looking for a wonderful lender that provides free technical assistance to walk you through the mortgage or home building process, visit hawaiicommunitylending.com. Thank you for 10 seconds of fame. Mahalo, guys. Love you guys.
Tell us about what you folks are doing, your training.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So Hawaii Community Lending is a nonprofit lending institution. We are a native CDFI, community development financial institution. We specialize in mortgage financing solely for homestead beneficiaries across the state. We also specialize in construction financing. One of our programs to highlight is the Ho'okele Home Program. We walk beneficiaries through the entire building process on Hawaiian homelands, again, across the state. We help folks build residential, but also egg as well if there is no existing structure on it. Our team is well-versed in a lot of the processes with Hawaiian homelands. So if you're looking for pre-development costs, we have a loan that can cover that. Looking to improve debt to income so that you can qualify for a mortgage. We can help with that with one of our consumer lending products. One unique thing about Hawaii Community Lending is that our technical assistance is tailored specifically for homestead processes. So we do our best to align with the HARs that are set for DHHL. We help echo some of the things that you guys talk about, like successorship and transfers and what that process looks like. It is very overwhelming. We don't have all the answers, and we also know that you guys are so busy, including the DHHL staff. So we also try to help by creating handbooks and handouts so that people have something simple to follow. Our Ho'okele Home program is, I think our entire organization is really anti-displacement, period, because every single product that we have helps the home buyer, the homeowner from start to finish. And then even after that, we have portfolio loans. So we service our own mortgages. So if there's, if people fall on hard times, which, I know the delinquency rate was shared with you folks, we have a loss mitigation department that is dedicated to helping folks get back on track. And we partner with also the DHHL on the Ho'amana Home Program. Ho'amana Grant Program to prevent further displacement to help pay for arrearages and such. So I'm so grateful for you guys, and mahalo for trusting us to take care of our beneficiaries.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I had mentioned, we've come to the end of the agenda. The next regular Hawaiian Homes Commission meeting is June 15th and 16th at Kapolei. So please visit our website for the updated 2026 meeting schedule and information on awards, projects, Salesforce updates, and much more. We are adjourned.